This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 377, 6 Steps to Help Stop the Cycle of Debt, by Carrie Smith with PTMoney.com. And I am Dan, the guy who's here Monday through Friday narrating to you from some of the best blogs out there on personal finance, investing, and more, and it's all in an effort to optimize your financial life. And just a reminder that we do love to hear from you here at Optimal Finance Daily. We like to hear what's working for you, maybe things you'd like to see improved, and also topics you'd like to see covered. You can share those ideas with us at oldpodcast.com. And this episode is brought to you by SendPro from Pitney Bowes. SendPro has 3 times the features of Stamps.com at 1/3 the price. Visit pb.com/finance to learn more and try it free for 90 days. After that, you'll get SendPro for only $5 per month. That's 1/3 of the cost of Stamps.com. And that special $5 rate is good for the lifetime of your SendPro subscription, but only when you sign up at pb.com/finance. Now let's dig into today's post as we optimize your life. 6 Steps to Help Stop the Cycle of Debt, by Carrie Smith with PTMoney.com. Debt is a vicious cycle, and once you're stuck, it's very difficult to get out. I learned this the hard way when I woke up and realized I was $150,000 in debt, constantly worried about money, and was only 23 years old. That's not the best way to start out your adult life. My American dream of owning a home, having a fulfilling career, and settling down turned into a debt nightmare. No matter how hard I tried to get my finances under control, to spend less and save more, the debt just kept growing and the bills kept coming. For most of my life, I was under the impression that everyone has some sort of debt and that debt is normal. But that type of thinking is wrong. Yes, there are good arguments about turning the tables on debt and leveraging them to your advantage, or taking on debt like a mortgage since it's a smart investment in your future. Sometimes it does make sense to borrow money, but most of the time, it's not worth it. Experts say your total monthly long-term debt payments, including mortgage and credit cards, should not exceed 36% of your gross monthly income. Too many of us aren't disciplined with our finances, and it's time to get honest with ourselves and admit to not thinking clearly. If you want to change your future and end the cycle of debt, here are 6 steps you need to take. Step 1. Understand your mindset. Before you can successfully stop the debt cycle you've created with your finances, you have to think about why you got into this mess in the first place. Before I made the decision to live debt-free, I had to ask myself some important questions. Why are you in debt? Does your debt consist of consumer debt, like credit cards or payday loans, or secured debt, like a car or mortgage? Perhaps it's a mix of both, which is a clear sign your spending habits and financial mindset is completely out of balance. Start the process of reviewing the decisions you make and understand the why behind them. What caused your financial decisions to be the wrong ones? Whatever your mindset is, knowing the answers will help you avoid these issues and mistakes in the future. Step 2. Change your habits. Once you identify the method behind the madness, and yes, spending more than you earn is madness, it just takes a while to come to your senses, it will be that much simpler to change your habits. You'll be able to see where you're making good financial decisions and enforce them, while identifying the bad ones and stop them. Of course, changing your habits isn't easy, and it will take some sacrifices on your part, but I can tell you from experience that making the changes necessary to live a life of freedom and financial security is totally worth it. Step 3. Go on a spending diet. A good way to put an end to your cycle of debt is to go on a short spending diet. More often than not, your spending habits are to blame for your financial situation, so indulging in more of the same is not the answer. Challenge yourself to a financial diet and go 30 days without buying any non-essentials or going shopping. Only allow yourself to purchase items that you need, like groceries and gas, along with paying your essential bills. But that's it. When I did this, I noticed I didn't even miss my expensive cable TV and my overpriced gym membership. Once you try it, you too might find you no longer want many of the things you thought you needed. Going on a short spending diet is not only better for your wallet, but for your mind. Step 4. Set yourself up to succeed. Once you acknowledge and understand your habits, the only way to truly overcome them is by replacing bad habits with good ones. One of my problem areas is eating out and buying fast food. So if I want to save money and spend smarter, I have to substitute eating out with meal planning, grocery shopping, and cooking. But if you really want to overcome this vicious cycle, you have to set yourself up to succeed. For instance, I learned to buy food that's not only convenient, but simple to cook. My schedule is so demanding that if I spent hours making a complex meal plan, I'm likely to give up and go back to eating out again. Take the extra time to set yourself up with a system that really works. Otherwise, you'll be right back in the same bad habit. Step 5. Remove any temptations. It's easier to avoid temptation than to resist it. So if you're a shopaholic, it's a good idea to avoid shopping traps like going to the mall instead of tempting yourself. It's much easier and smarter to remove any temptations that keep you stuck in the same bad spending habits. Breaking free from this cycle not only requires dedication, but also removal of the temptation to fall back into old patterns. Change your habits now and remove any unnecessary roadblocks so you can ensure your journey to debt freedom will be as smooth as possible. Step 6. Find your inspiration. Once you finally commit to ending your debt cycle and learn to live below your means, you'll find it's not easy. In fact, it's downright hard. There was one moment specifically where I wanted to throw in the towel and give up on my path to debt freedom. Want to know what kept me going? Finding the right inspiration and motivation. You have to remember where you're going and focus on the end result. Otherwise, it will be all too easy to give up. Then you'll be less likely to try again in the future. Focus on how far you've come and the milestones you've already reached. Make sure to celebrate your accomplishments. The prize at the end of your journey has to be worth fighting for to keep you motivated to reach the end. Are you hoping to send your kid to college? Do you want to quit your job and strike out on your own? Find the goals that inspire you, and you'll have no problem staying the course. It takes years to get into debt, and it might take just as long to get out of it. Don't give up. You just listened to the post titled 6 Steps to Help Stop the Cycle of Debt by Carrie Smith with PTMoney.com. And speaking of putting money back into your pocket, this episode was brought to you by SendPro from Pitney Bowes. SendPro has 3 times the features of Stamps.com at 1/3 the price. It's really easy to use. You can actually print stamps straight from your computer, saving money and time, and you don't even need any special equipment to do it or software. It works right from the web, no installations to worry about. You gotta try it out. You can get an incredible deal only through pb.com/finance. That deal is, you'll get SendPro free for 90 days. You'll get a free 10-pound scale. And when your free trial is over, again, this is after a full 90 days, you'll get SendPro for only $5 a month, and that rate is good for the life of your SendPro subscription. That's $5 a month compared to $15.99 a month for Stamps.com. That's 3 times the features of Stamps.com at 1/3 the price. Again, you can get all of that through our special link, pb.com/finance. And that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back once again hearing from J.D. Roth of Money Boss. So I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.